Hey guys, I'm Ken Finnan of Capital Advantage Tutoring Company, and we are here to help you pass the exams. Before you fall asleep, stay with me. The Series 7 top-off is not the same as the SIE. It is an ass kicker. I'm telling you right now, it will bust your butt if you just blow it off and take it like you take the SIE. So you have to pay attention and actually understand the topics. You can't just memorize. Yes, you're going to get a lot of advice to just take questions and questions and questions. It used to work, and for some people it works, but for 90% of the people it doesn't, and that's where I come in, and I usually help them out with tutoring and stuff. But I'm just trying to help you out. I'm throwing a lot of videos out here to try to help people who can't actually afford to pay me, just trying to give back a little bit. Okay, I'm not that nice a guy. Right now I'm in the mood to do this all the time. Now, when you take the Series 7 top off, and so you go, how do I pass the Series 7 top off? So what happens is you have to understand what this is. First of all, it's 125 questions long. And they always have the 10 fake ones. You don't know what they are, but the way I think about it is, doesn't matter. But if you study and do everything you're supposed to do and read the books and everything, and you see 10 questions on there that are so far out of left field that you have no idea what they are, those are probably the test questions. And since you'll never know, it doesn't matter. So 125 questions, you need a 72. That means you need 90 right. And I think it's curved a little bit, not based on other people, but on how difficult the questions are. The more difficult questions you get, I think they bump you a little bit. I'm not 100% sure. I get the wink from people on the committee. But I think it's not a big help. But if you get a lot of really hard questions, because it is random, I think they normalize it, if you want to call it that. Now, remember, 125 questions, you need a 72. That's a freaking C-. If you do your work, you should be able to C-. A lot of people get screwed up because they just freak out. They just freak out during the exam. So during this video, I'm going to talk about different tips on how not to freak out and what to do to help yourself, help yourself pass the test. So stay tuned. Stay on. Help me out. Okay. 125 questions. You need a 72. You need 90 right. That means you can get 35 wrong. That is a shitload of questions wrong. That means you can get 7 in a row wrong 5 times, or 5 in a row wrong 7 times. Imagine you get 5 in a row wrong and you're like, oh God, I'm dying. Relax, move on. Don't worry about it. You're going to feel like you're failing the whole time, so just get used to it. Okay. Now, the SIE, when you take this, you're going to be like, why was I even worried about the SIE? It's still tough because it's your first test in the business and you don't know what it's like. But the top off is like, here's the SIE, here's the top off. Because it's not just memorization, some is, but not a lot. It's understanding where things fit. Understanding the suitability. Like if I want, not just know what interest rate risk or the default risk is, but know who wants it and who doesn't. If somebody wants principal protection, you're thinking treasuries every freaking time. If they want growth or inflation protection, it's stocks, annuities, stuff like that. I have a suitability video. I'm just saying it's all about how it fits in. You're going to get like 30 option questions between 15 and 30. Like 15, not heavy math. There's going to be math on them, but some of it's theory. Like if you're long stock, what do you do to protect your income? If you're short stock, if you're hedging, what's your max gain? Stuff like that. Bullish, bearish, suitability. Do you want it to exercise or expire? Not always about the math, but there's going to be gain or loss questions. And I don't think I have any videos on that yet, but I'm working on that. Now, munis. Everyone's afraid of munis because you look through the book and it's so many details. Don't get lost in the woods. Don't get lost in the details. Don't worry about every little G rule and G22 and G48. Don't worry about them. Understand the concepts, get them down, okay? Understand the concepts and understand the suitability. You know that munis, the difference between GOs and revenues. I do videos on those, so take a look at those. You have to make sure you understand where it fits, and you have to understand what's wrong and right. And some of the rules on the munis are somewhat commonsensical. Like, look, if I have a customer who's a mutual fund, I cannot say to him or them or her, listen, if you give me orders to execute on, I'll get you investors. That's like pay to play. You can't do that stuff. You can't give too much money to a political campaign. All this stuff sort of makes sense. So understand the mute. I was wearing a different shirt before. Well, okay. Oh, I know what it is. It's a break. These are my new question breaks. I'm going to put in my videos question breaks. So what I'm going to do is break into the video somewhere in there, a little surprise, like an Easter egg, if you want to say. And what I'm going to do is ask you a question. And I want you to answer it in the comments, and then whatever it is, and then maybe what I'll do is maybe in the future, if I get enough interest in this, maybe I'll pick one right answer and give them a 30-minute free session or something like that. Not now, maybe in a couple months. We'll see if that works, if there's enough interest in this. So here's my question for you. And I'm going to explain it in the next video I do. I'm going to explain the answer somewhere in the question break. So here's my question. If you buy an ABC October 80 call at 8 and you buy an ABC October 80 put at 4, what I need from you, I need max gain, I need max loss, I need the break-even situation, I need to know, am I bullish, am I bearish, am I volatile, am I neutral? That's what I'm looking for. So again, buy an 80 call at 8, buy an 80 put at 4. Those are my questions. That's your challenge. Good luck, guys. You need to know taxes. You absolutely need to know the taxes. Cost basis, proceeds, capital gains versus ordinary income. What's tax deferred? Non-qualified goes in after tax. Qualified goes in pre-tax. They're both retirement, and they both have the whole tax deferred growth thing. And most of them, you can't take money out before you're 59 and a half, stuff like that. Don't worry about the contribution as much. They may ask it, but like the fact that it was 5,500, now it's 6. And then if you hit 1,000, you get a catch up of 1,000. You hit 50, you get $1,000 catch up. Don't sweat that too much. Now, also, do not overload the mark for review. That mark for review is not for you to just retake the test. I mean, you can do it if you want, but why would you? Mark for review, I think, is for one of two things. One, it's just too damn long and I am not in the mood to take it, okay? Just I don't feel like doing it right now, push it to the end. The other one is if you're truly 50-50, like A is this, C is that, and I really can't tell the difference. Those are the ones you put in the mark for review. Don't put the, it's probably this, but it might be that. Don't do that. The probably is the answer. And that's what they do with these tests. They absolutely make you feel like you're going to fail. This one, more than the SIE. The SIE, it is what it is. You're going to feel uncomfortable. But this one is going to be a mind F, okay? They're not trying to trick you, but the problem is the answers don't fit exactly. Look, I took this. I got like one wrong, okay? What happened, even when I hit that button, I'm like, I don't know. I thought I knew I passed, but I didn't know what I got. I took it before they switched it. So the questions are the same. It's just weighted differently. I actually was like, I passed, but I felt really uncomfortable during it. And if I know my crap, and I've been doing this for 10 years, and I feel uncomfortable taking some of the answers, what are you guys going to feel like? You've been studying it for 4 months. It just doesn't feel comfortable. Get used to that. Own it. Now, again, look at a question. 3 choices, like triage. 1, I can answer it. Well, then answer it. 2, I can't answer it. Then freaking pick an answer and move on. Don't think about it. Don't vacillate and go, I don't know for 2 minutes. If you don't know it, you're not going to get an epiphany in the next 2 hours. Hit the button, move on, and don't worry about it. That's what I call being a savage, okay? That's our new word that I'm going to try to push. When you're taking a test, you have to be a savage. I don't care about right and wrong. I just know I'm going to knock answers out. And if I look at it, I'm going to cut and dry it. I know it, answer it. I don't know it, answer it, and move on. Now, if you're like, again, the 50-50, you're like, it's long, or it's 50-50, really 50-50, mark for review, you have to pick an answer, and then you come back to it later. The reason we like that is because if you get that done, and you don't spend 2 minutes making that decision, 30 seconds, then you build up. If you don't finish the exam or you're right up to the end, thank God you did that. Thank God you put that in the review, because if you had taken long on that one, the back end, you'd be rushing through questions. So the trade-off is you'd be getting 1 right and giving up like 3 or 4 on the back end. The math doesn't work. You don't need that, okay? Now, you are knocking out answers. So that's, again, be a savage. You look at it, boom, know it, move on. If you see stuff on there, do the old, and again, a solid test-taking technique is to just knock answers out. So look, as I said, I did well, but there were definitely questions I didn't know. So what I did was I go, okay, well, it's this. It's not that. I've never heard of that, so I'm going to throw that out for now. I've never heard of that. And I go, okay, the only one left that looks like it could be right is that, and I pick it. I'm telling you, that really is this. Don't feel bad about doing that. Just knocking answers out is totally okay. The other thing, which is, again, I think it in one of my live videos, but I'm saying it again. Take breaks. You get almost 4 hours. I mean, if you're up to the end, that's fine, but you should be doing at least 40 questions an hour. If you're at that point, you can take a break. And one of my students, I said she brought a turkey sandwich, and they said she could leave it outside her locker. She went back, she sat down, had a sandwich. Not like she had a big meal. She just ate it, felt better, went back in, and destroyed the test. Well, we think she did. She felt good. So take breaks. It's really a big thing. So now, a couple of things. I just said it. When you look at questions, look at them. Try to knock out one or two. Even if you don't know it, try to knock one or two out just to get it going. Another thing is like I said, I tell everyone, I do a live Q&A every Tuesday night at 8:30. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. It's 8:30 at night. Everyone's, whatever. You should be done with work, even if you're in California. Just come on, ask questions. Yeah, I'm kind of a jerk sometimes, but the last one I did, I think it was almost 45 minutes of questions. And you learn. And what I do is I actually drop off the anything over a month I delete on the live. My regular videos I leave on, but the lives I take a month off because this way I'm not redoing the same questions over and over again, and they're sort of fresh. And that's about right because I get my students for about 6 weeks. So the live works for about a month is about right. So again, please, if you like what I'm doing, hit like, hit subscribe. Also, feel free to leave comments. I love comments. I may even come back a little snarky, but I do like comments. Please like and subscribe. Tell other people. We're trying to grow this. Have a great night, and I hope I helped.